Hello everyone, I'm your host Wheel Trouble, and we're going to talk about getting kids into the sport of motorcycling. As seen in some of the prior videos, I have at least one, and therefore have some thoughts on the subject. I'm not bringing this up because I'm running out of ideas, but I am running out of ideas. Please leave your ideas for topics in the comments. Like, subscribe, and most importantly, support me on Patreon. The link for that is in the description box. While it's not easy to pull up the exact statistics on how many riders began riding as children, it is anecdotally a large factor in preserving the sport. In September 2018, the New York Times was even interested enough in that topic that they did an entire article highlighting how Harley-Davidson was creating and assisting programs to get kids involved. The American Motorcyclist Association and Malcolm Smith Motorsports have programs that they're working on as well. It is no secret that motorcycle sales are in the decline in the US, as household finances are becoming more strained. Motorcycle manufacturers are just now coming to terms with the fact that their products are seen as luxuries. There is a real battle to justify the cost of motorsports against other forms of exertainment like basketball, football, and the Playbox 9000. The fastest way to get your kids asking questions about motorcycles is to be a rider yourself. It is illegal for kids to be more than passengers on the road, so this is where you, as a mature adult, ask your domestic supervisor to allow your garage to become a multi-vehicular stable for more two-wheeled steeds, more specifically the off-road variety. You may even consider a dual sport or an adventure bike for yourself. Notice my Versys. This will give you something you can later use to turn your child's ride time into a family affair. From there, take your kid on small rides, take them on big rides, take them anywhere your family and Child Protective Services will let you take them. Note, the child in this video did demonstrate to a state official that he was mentally capable of being a safe passenger prior to joining me on this 2,000-mile road trip. Steps like this one are important, as it instills a familiarity with acceleration, vibration, and leaning into corners. As a kid, I used to take my non-rider friends for little joyrides around the local trails to get them curious. Check your local laws on how to bring your child along legally and safely. I also strongly recommend a communication system at this point. Your child needs to be able to communicate with you during these rides. Take issues like fatigue very seriously. I'd rather have my kid doze for a while with their head on my lap on the side of the road than to have them fall off my bike. Admittedly, my dad never took me on joyrides, and I wish he had. At some point, your child will ask that question that will make your heart skip a beat. Your child will look up at you with those adorably glassy eyes that mean they're about to turn on that underused best behavior chip, and you will hear, "When can I ride my own bike?" If you've been preparing for this, you've probably already been price shopping for mini bikes. Remember in other videos where I recommended new? Throw that advice out for this step. Buy a used bike for your kid. If you want to buy new and you can afford it, go for it. The reality is that your child will crash. A lot. Buy the safety gear too. At a minimum, boots and a helmet. Make sure your child can touch the ground with ease. Also, many mini bikes come with the option for throttle restrictors. This is a handy option, but my kid did just fine without it. The job isn't over there though. As a matter of fact, it's only the beginning. I'm fortunate to have a large yard where my child can putt around in. Plenty of riding areas have open kids areas as well. Be polite at your local ride area, and I'm willing to bet that nobody will get mad at you for setting up cones for your child to perform drills as they get familiar with their bike. MSF road drills are great practice for this. My local trails also do ride days where some rather talented riders will give free clinics to riders of all skill levels. After that, you're ready for the trails or the track. The big goal here is to create opportunities for your child to ride as much as possible. If you have ever had a child in a team sport, this isn't news. The ride time is your child's practice time. Encourage it. Most importantly, however, make it fun. Many parents make the mistake of holding their child to some performance standard and then beating the kid up when they don't meet that standard, and I mean emotionally typically. Dear expletive redacted parent, I don't see you winning national level awards on your bike, so back the expletive redacted off. If your child is competing, I'm betting they are already much harder on themselves than you are already. This isn't just coming from me, but also from some BMX coaches who train some of the fastest BMX racers on the planet. Be positive, stay positive, and make it fun. Did they crash? Laugh it off and help them back up. Don't ever let them end the day on a low note. There have been plenty of times when my oldest would tip over and he'd hear me laughing over the headset. Group riding events are also wonderful networking opportunities. Sometimes another parent may offer to let your kid tag along on a moto trip of some form, and that will give you a few hours of peace. From there, one can help their child transition from dirt to street somewhat easily. In most of the United States, you can obtain a motorcycle license at the youthful age of 15, as opposed to 16 for a car. Your child will be the cool kid in school. Depending on your child's height, There are quite a few ADV, street bikes, and other fun options that fall within the CC restrictions that most states have. Options will be restricted by rider height as well. With any luck, your teen will also be entering the workforce, and I can think of no better way for them to pay for their new bike. If you have kids, I hope I got your gears turning on how you can share your addiction with your mini-me's. Let me know what you think of my technique in the comments, and don't forget to support me on Patreon at patreon.com/wheeltrouble. Like, subscribe, and of course, share this video with all of your breeding riding buddies. We gotta work together to keep this sport alive. Wheel Trouble out.